Welcome to this life, number 11 of our 36 days challenge, Ritualize Your Life. I'm Sharada Devi, and I'm grateful for another day that we have been given, and I'm welcoming all of you that are joining live today. Hello Theo, hello Sheila, hello everyone. It always takes a moment for this to... I kind of am ahead of you a few seconds, I noticed. So as you're all arriving, I'm going to chant our 2 prayers that we've been chanting before every life. The one to Ganesha, the one that removes all obstacles, and to Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, the goddess of words, the goddess of the vision of wholeness, and she who reveals the vision of wholeness. So I invite you to join me. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so a few more of you have joined. So hello Carmen and Isa, hello Philippa, hello Jagadish, Katarina, hello Sarah, welcome back Christine, welcome Lydia, welcome Liz. So nice that you're here. So many of my students that have done so many of my programs are in the Journey, the Priestess, the Muse, teacher training with Megan Curry. That's where Carmen and I met. Some of us only have met online. We've never met in person, like Sheila and I. Christine and I, we know each other for many, many years. We're still gumping here together. And like Liz also, we never met in person, but online we've been traveling together. And so some of you are new that I don't know, Brittany, Elena. So please say hello and let me know where you're from and what brought you here. And those that have been joining this challenge since the last 10 days, congratulations, celebrating you and me and us, that we are here dedicated to spiritualizing our life, ritualizing our life. When I say spiritualizing my life, ritualizing my life, I refer to the same. In other words, to sanctify every single moment, because every moment could be our last one. We never know if the lapdap, like if our heart is gonna beat again. This could have been my last heartbeat. This could have been my last breath, but I'm still here beating and gumping and jumping with you. And we all have been given a lifespan, like a certain years that we are incarnated in this sacred body temple. And the purpose of human incarnation, according to the body of knowledge of the Veda, which is a timeless body of knowledge given with every cycle of creation, it is looked upon as a map of life for human beings to discover what they really are, and to help them discover that they are actually in reality everything they want to be already, here and now. They are secure as human beings. That's actually our nature. Our nature is wholeness, which means if I am whole, what does that mean? I am the source of happiness. Happiness is all we seek. We don't know what happiness is. The Veda reveals happiness is in the discovery of your wholeness. And it reveals that is what you are. You are a whole and complete being. And so the body of knowledge given with every cycle of creation comes here to help us give meaning and purpose to this human incarnation. We consider the human incarnation the most profound, or one of the most profound births. Like there are many different types of births that we can take, many different types of body that we can inhabit, and the human body, we call it the Nara Janma, Manushya Janma, the human body, the human life, is most precious, and it also says that it requires crore of punyam. It requires crore, it means a lot, thousands. I think there's a specific number, I forgot right now. It comes also from the Veda, but it means a lot, many karma. That karma means actions that are dharmic karmas, that are karmas that go within universal values. Universal values means values that apply to all people at all times, across time and space. Like that which is truly valuable is a value that we call sanatana dharma. It's a value, for example, like ahimsa, parama dharma, is one of the most important, if not the most important. In the Veda it says it's the most important value, to cause least injury, to cause least harm. And so that is a value that actually is valuable for all of us, no matter if we're black, white, woman, man, young, old. It's valuable to all of us because not you, nor I, nor anyone wants to get hurt. And so if I don't want to get hurt, then it's natural that I don't hurt others. I cannot expect to hurt others and not get hurt in return. And that doesn't work. Sometimes we try, like as children, we try to try the edge, see if we can get away with things. But we cannot get away with things. No one can get away with things. Even if it seems like that we can get away with things, we cannot get away with things. That's the law of nature. And that's a universal value that is very valuable. And the value is really only my value when I discover the value of the value. Right? That's something very important to assimilate. That a value, like the value of ahimsa, the value of causing least harm through my words, my actions, my thoughts, is only valuable to you, to me, to anyone, if we understand the value of the value. And so what is the value of the value? The value of the value is the understanding that if I go against this value of ahimsa, if I hurt, if I rob, I will get robbed. If I hurt, I will get hurt. And so this value of ahimsa is only valuable to me when I have assimilated the value of ahimsa. And so that's one of my most favorite books. It's called The Value of the Values. It's by Swami Dayananda, who is my revered teacher, whom I have had the blessing to study in Arsha Vidya Gurukulam in Coimbatore multiple times. I also joined the 3.5-year course with Swami Dayananda. I didn't complete the 3.5 years because Swami Dayananda passed or took Mahasamadhi in 2015. And when he left, I also left because my heart connection was with him. And I'm a direct student of his senior disciples, Swami Vagishananda and Shri Radhaji, and other senior disciples as well. So I come from the lineage of traditional Advaita Vedanta, from the lineage of Swami Dayananda, Swami Saraswati, and this is why I'm here, and this is what I can share. This is why I can share with you some of these jewels of the Veda. And Swami Dayananda is the most incredible person I've ever met. His eloquence in words and the way he can explain this truth of what the Veda reveals, that in essence we are a whole and complete being And not only that, but we are also the whole, which means we are the whole universe. He is a master in revealing these truths. And not only that, we also consider him to be a Jagat Guru. A Jagat Guru means like a teacher of the world. Jagat means jayate iti gacchati. That which is born goes. And that's the definition of the world. That which is born and that which goes. That which is seen, that will also go. Like every scene is just a scene, it's going to disappear. And that's the nature of the world, it's temporary. And within the temporary world, there are many orders, incredible phenomena, and it's a manifestation of infinite knowledge. And so there are skills that come along with this Jagat, with this world, that we can adapt and cultivate so that we can handle the world. The world is an incredible, awe-striking phenomena with many different orders, and it requires a lot of skill to understand the order, be with the order, respond to the order. And so Swami Dayananda was truly a master in that, not only of the teachings of the vision of wholeness, but also in terms of his skills with his ability to respond to the different orders of life and all different people. So he has taught many 3.5-year courses of Advaita Vedanta from the 70s all the way to 2015. And his dedication to this tradition is not seen. He really revived the Advaita Vedanta traditional way of teaching, which we call to use the Vedanta as a pramanam, as a means of knowledge, to see what I cannot see through my own eyes. That is a pramanam. A pramanam is a means of knowledge. So we are also having pramanam, but let me just finish about the value of the value before I go into the pramanam. So Swami Dayananda has given many talks, many classes over all these years, and in that he always teaches dharma, he always teaches the values of the value of the value. He teaches and unfolds each and every value that is there in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. And you find these values in all the different shastras, texts, scriptures of the Veda. In the Upanishads you find the values. Yama and niyamas are in the Upanishads. They are everywhere. Because if we don't understand the value of values and we don't live by universal values, we will get robbed. We will get hurt. And so Swami Dayananda goes very, very deep into the unfoldment of each and every value. And there is this book called The Value of the Value. So I also have a course on the value of the value. You can get it on in my library, in devyai.info. It's a beautiful course where I also unfold every value. So I bring in like my understanding and my experience. I taught those values during COVID, so they were very valuable at that time. It was very easy to freak out, but it was these values that really helped me to get through COVID. But you can also like get this book from Swami Dayananda, where he unfolds all these values, these universal values that protect us. And so basically, going back to the pramanam is a means of knowledge. And so you have a pramanam, I have a pramanam, we all have pramanams, we all have means of knowledge. Because for anything to be known, an object of knowledge, there needs to be a pramanam, a means of knowledge. For example, for you to see me, like for you to see this camera or phone that you're looking at, you would not see me without your eyes. So without your eyes, without your eyes, you cannot see this phone in front of you, or me in this case. Me, without my eyes, I cannot see myself here, which is really funny because I'm looking at myself, but I'm also seeing all of you that are joining here, and I'm welcoming you all warmly. So we all have pramanam. Our eyes are a means of knowledge to see form and colors. Our ears are a pramanam, a means of knowledge to know sounds. I don't know if you heard the sounds. The sounds today are very loud. The wind, the Vayu god, is very strong today again. We all have the sense of touch, is another pramanam, to feel touch. That's a pramanam. We all have the sense organ of the nose. To smell is another pramanam. We have the sense of taste is another pramanam. So those 5 sense organs, which we call pancha jnanendriyas, pancha means 5, indriyas means sense organs, and then jnana means knowledge. So here these are 5 sense organs. They are known as one pramanam. So those 5, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, they go together into one pramanam, which we call pratyaksha, which means direct perception. Direct perception. So directly you gain knowledge of the objective world, of what you see, hear, smell, taste, touch. See, hear, smell, taste, and touch. That is a direct knowledge, because you're directly, through your means of knowledge, those 5 sense organs, you perceive the world of objects. And so now, and then there are many different pramanams that we use all day long. I'm not going to go into that today. All of this I teach in detail in the Living Wisdom Teacher course. You can also get it self-paced in my library in Devi School. So basically, we then, here in this case, you do not want to know really that which is limited, do you? That's a big question to ask. Do you really want to know that which is limited? Really what I want to know is that which is limitless, free from limitation. Because as long as I know myself as a limited being in time and space, I will not be able to accept myself. I can only accept myself as a limitless being. And so that's a very big one to assimilate, to chew on. Everything in this universe is limited. Just because it's limited, it doesn't mean it's not good enough, it's not beautiful, it's not fit to be worshipped. It is. It's a marvelous manifestation, an infinite intelligent being, a sacred leela, sacred play that manifests, sacred being manifests in the form of the world. It's marvelous. But it is limited. It comes into being, it exists, and it will go out of being. By nature, it is temporary, it is impermanent. So that has to be very deeply assimilated. So now, next step is to understand that all that I seek as a human being, in reality, is freedom from this incapacity of accepting myself. Everything I seek, actually, as a human being, is freedom from this incapacity of accepting myself. So now, why am I not able to accept myself? Because I have concluded that I am a limited being. Why am I not able to accept myself? Because I have concluded I am a limited being. Because my I notion, my ahankara, my self-identity, where does it land? It lands here. Right? It lands here on this body. What I see, what I feel, what I experience. But now we saw everything in this world that I see, hear, smell, taste, touch, it's limited. So I'm identifying with that which is limited. And naturally, I cannot accept myself because this is limited. All I want is to be limitless. I can never accept myself as a limited being. I can only accept myself as a limitless being. And now it's Pacharada. This is a problem, right? Because I am a limited being. I was born in time and I'm going to die. And then here the Veda says, no, that's not true. That is not true. That is untrue. It's not true that you are a limited being. It's not true that you were born. It's not true that you're going to die. How can you say that? And then when I have these questions, like when it suddenly this fire is ignited, this desire of wanting to know me, but not the limited me. I want to know the limitless me. Like when that desire ignites, when it sparks, right, that's when you become like a mumukshu, a seeker. Like a seeker of that which is not to be found within this world. You seek that which is beyond the world, that which is free from the limitations of the world. But that's here is we want to pay attention, because often here then we start to reject the world, deny the world, judge the world. But no. The world is goddess, God, sacred being, not to be rejected, not to be denied, not to be judged. It's to be understood. Once you understand it, you cannot judge it. Once you understand it, you cannot but worship it. You cannot but admire it, but praise it, but care for it. But you understand its nature. And just because you understand its nature, that it's limited, doesn't mean it's not fit to be admired and taken care of, is it? So it all boils down to understanding, to seeing things clearly as they are. And you can only see things clearly as they are when you have a means of knowledge to see things clearly as they are. For anything in this world that you want to know, you are using a means of knowledge. You cannot know anything without a means of knowledge. This is a big one to assimilate. And now, here, we want to know that which is limitless, not within this time, not within this world, not within this dimension, that which is free from time, free from space, free from limitations. How? Tell me, how are you going to know that? With the means of knowledge that you have available as a human being. How are you going to know your own face? You cannot take your eyes and turn your eyes around and see your own face. You cannot. What do? You take a mirror, a means of knowledge. You look into the mirror and you see your face. So, here, when we come to the Advaita Vedanta, we consider that to be a means of knowledge, like the mirror, to see our face, but not to see the face that we are judging. Like it has some wrinkles, and there's too many hairs and too many spots, where we then look through the mirror and are constantly nagging and complaining about this face. No, when we look through the mirror of Vedanta, of the words, of the Veda, it's a mirror in the form of words. We call it the mirror of words. And so then the mirror of words lets me see my faceless face, my spotless face, my timeless face, my ageless face, my colorless face, my genderless face. It lets me see the face of all faces. It lets me see the face of the goddess, the God, the being. And it lets me see myself as I truly am, a limitless, whole and complete being. So I want to see clearly. Right? You want to see clearly. And so we have the sun, right, as a metaphor. Every day we wake up and the sun is there. Every day it's there, and it shines, and it lights up the whole universe. Without the sun, we don't see anything. Because of the sun, everything is known. But would you count the sun? Like if I ask you today, what is there in your room? Like you would say, oh, the yellow curtain is there, and the wall is there, and the phone is there, and the table is here, and this body is here, and the roof is here. would you say the sun is here? You wouldn't, because you take the sun for granted. We take that for granted, because of which we see each other or read, but without which we don't see each other. And so the sun lets us see. And so this step 11 of our Ritualise, our life challenge, is dedicated to the sun, my eyesight, and the movement, that movement that I can go and see. Like I wake up, I go out, and I greet the sun. And I greet the sun because the sun is very admirable. Like the sun wakes up without having a sense that I wake up. The sun shines without having a sense that I shine. The sun knows everything without having the sense that I know everything. It just is. It is brilliant. And it lets everything that comes in touch with it also shine. Everything shines because of the sun. Without the sun, nothing shines. But the sun on its own, by its own, is self-shining. But everything else shines after the sun. And so here in this step 11, we're ritualizing. And ritualizing, I don't know if you have done Sun Salutation before. Some of you probably have. I know many of you are yogis here. So then the Sun Salutation is part of a yoga lifestyle. But for some of us who maybe are not into yoga, maybe this will be a new step to include, where I invite you to go to the sun and charge your hands, receive the blessing of the sun, and charge your eyes to see really, truly, what is true and what is untrue, and then to do the sun salutation, like the movement, this gesture, the effort. Right? It's also an effort that we do to keep the body healthy, and the sun salutation is this mudra, this gesture, this asana of I praise, I admire the sun. And we saw yesterday, as I admire, so I become. So if you admire the sun, you become as brilliant as the sun. The truth is you are already as brilliant as the sun, but the problem is you don't know, because you have identified with the limited parts, and the sun helps us to identify with the limitless part. Which is not a part really, which is yourself, the essence, the truth. How does the sun help you identify with the limitless self? It's again a metaphor, okay, never to be taken literal. The sun represents the mirror in the form of the words. So the sun represents the mirror in the form of the words. We call it Vedanta. And so Vedanta is a means of knowledge to know the limitless self, and we have the sun that represents that knowledge, that limitlessness, and we bless our eyes so that we can truly see things as they really are, through the vision of wholeness and not through the likes and dislikes glasses. Right? We take them off so we can see what is. Oh, beautiful. Hearts came out. Wow, the new technology, new things happening all the time. So I love this step. It's very beautiful to incorporate. And we also have a prayer, of course, a mantra that goes with it for this step. And so to conclude the introduction talk, basically, like Swami Dayananda has revived the Vedanta tradition as a pramanam. For those that have been studying some Vedanta or some Advaita Vedanta or some spiritual tradition or have been part, this is a big contribution that is considered even within India, is known that Swami Dayananda has revived the Vedanta tradition as a praman, as a means of knowledge. So how is that different from other Neo-Vedanta or other Vedanta that is not being used as a means of knowledge? It's different, and it differs in terms of that we use Vedanta to see at the moment of teaching the self as limitless here and now, and not for you to go meditate and experience it afterwards, which is more the Neo-Vedanta approach, or the non-traditional Vedanta, or when Vedanta is not used as a pramanam. There then you gain the knowledge, it's basically like a theory, and then you would go and try to experience that limitless self, become that limitless self. And so there's a big difference between to own up something that is here and now, and there's no becoming, there's no experience involved even, and between when there is, you go and the practitioner is there, and then you go and try to experience the limitless self. So a little bit of that. This is what came today as an introduction to number 11 of our Ritualise Your Life challenge. So here are the slides. Number 11. So here it's movement and the eyesight. So the prayer that you can say, or you can also translate into your own language. Then we are going to have the Sanskrit mantra for those that want to chant. In my movement, I invoke the sacred. All I see is the sacred. And so then if you don't, of course, want to do Sun Salutation, you can also then do another yoga asana practice. This is a suggestion of Sun Salutation. So in my movement, I invoke the sacred. All I see is the sacred. And this is a short, sweet prayer. You can, of course, always change your prayer. It can be in my movement, I invoke the sacred. I offer my movement to the sacred also, for example. Right? May my movement become the prayer. I invoke the sacred, and all I see is the sacred. Then we have the mudra that goes with it. So you can charge your hands with rubbing your hands together. This is one way of charging the hands. What I love to do also is going to the sun, like go out and actually receive the morning sunlight. Like as a hardcore yogi in the old days, I would make sure to always wake up before the sun and greet the sun before the sun is there. But now I do that still, not all the time. It's so beautiful. It is very, very nurturing, very, very enlivening, very beneficial to wake up before the sun. And we also say we invoke a lot of spiritual wealth when we do that. But you can do this also any other time during the day, to charge your hands with the sunlight, or hold the hands up to the sun, charge it, and then bring the hands to the eyes. Just like, and it's also a way to like bless, like you're asking the sun for a blessing. You're holding the hands towards the sun, and then you also ask the sun, please bless my eyes. And when we say please bless my eyes, yes, from one standpoint it's to have healthy eyes and have a great eyesight, but it's much deeper than that. Like, please bless my eyes, it means please bless me to see things clearly as they are. In the relative, in my relationships, in situation, may I see things objectively, but ultimately, may I see myself as the limitless being. That's what you're really asking for. That's what you can ask for. So that is a beautiful way. And then the asana, we wrote there mudra, but it's really more the asana, is to do 6 to 12 rounds of Sun Salutation. Maybe we'll do it together, or I'll post tomorrow how I do Sun Salutation in my reel tomorrow. And with the Sun Salutation, so for those that know, like for those that have done yoga teacher trainings, you maybe have learned the names of the sun, which is very beautiful. Om Bhanave Namaha, Om Suryaya Namaha. So there are the 12 names of the sun, and as you do the Sun Salutation, you can chant the 12 names. That's very beautiful. And if you don't know the names of the sun, you can simply chant, for example, Om Suryaya Namaha, Om Suryaya Namaha. But here I chose actually now a different mantra, which is dedicated to Gāyatri. She is the goddess of the sun. So you can repeat after me. Om Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. And so we have Om, and then Gāyatri. A is long A. You see that because there's a line on top of the first A. Gāyatri. And then devyai namaha. The A is always long E in English. Devyai namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. So this is where you invoke like the goddess Gayatri, or you can chant Om Suryaya Namaha, because there are so many names for the sun. Also masculine, feminine, neutral, you have all of it. Basically, like it is with that reverence I invoke that which is self-shining, self-luminous, most brilliant being. And so you can chant this, rub your hands, charge your hands, bless your eyes, and then also you can bless the whole body with the truth. And then do Surya Namaskar. So let's do Surya Namaskar tomorrow, and we'll record it and we post it. For those that don't know how to do Surya Namaskar, very simple, very deep, very beautiful, and very good for our bodies also. And then also the movement here is included, right? We're also invoking that our movement in life is, our karma is dharmic. So like when we're invoking the sun, we're invoking the fire. And the fire is a representation for dharma. And dharma are these universal values I talked at the beginning, like ahimsa, to cause least harm through my words, my actions, and my thoughts. And so when I pray to the sun, like I invoke that fire of dharma. And in the movement, I invoke that dharma, so that all my movement, all my engagement in life is within dharma, is within universal values, so that I'm protected. Like, so I'm using the fire to transform. Like, I know that my actions can transform, can make a difference in this life if I use my actions properly. But I can also abuse my power. I can also abuse my capacity to do and move. And so then I'm not using the fire. I mean, I am using the fire, but I'm misusing the fire. I'm abusing the fire. And when I misuse and abuse the fire, like the fire can and does burn, and it can burn up a whole house, it can burn up a whole village, it can burn up a whole forest. Like, that's how powerful fire is. It eats everything. And so that's the same with our power, with our action, with our power of action, the Kriya Shakti. And we can do a lot of good, but if we don't pay attention and we go against Dharma, we can also do a lot of things that are hurting others, including myself, because whenever I hurt someone else, I'm actually hurting myself, because there is really no other. There's only me, really. That's what the Veda reveals, and that's what I discover as I continue on this path of Dharma, on this journey towards freedom, on a journey of living a spiritual life. So we're concluding here our step 11. If you have any questions, any sharings, please share in the chat with me here Also, you can share with me once I've posted this live. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing this live with your friends and community. It means a lot to me. It helps me to also grow and reach more people so that Devi School can continue to do its programs. And this Sunday I have a very special class coming up, actually a whole day class. It's called Dharma and SEX Magic. It's Guru Purnima this Sunday. It's full moon. It's a very auspicious day which we will dedicate to the teachings of wholeness, to reclaiming our power, and to SEX, sacred sensual magic, to manifest our visions, our dreams, and to be that dharmic leader, that leader that is dharmic, that has values and lives and stands in integrity. So I'd love to have you there. It's a paid class that you can sign up for. The link is in my bio, or you can also send me a message and I send it to you. Okay. So I don't see any questions. Just grateful. Sama sama. Me too, Sarah. Thank you. Theo says, the addition of the mantra to my Abhyanga practice yesterday was so beautiful. Yes, you mean the Om Paramananda Yay Namaha. Yes, Paramananda Yay Namaha. Yes, I love it, right? And really that I'm absolute pleasure, invoking the goddess of absolute pleasure. I'm so happy to hear that. I am my own source of pleasure and happiness. Very powerful. Yes. Yeah, it's very powerful. Like you do this every day, that's gonna go really deep into your body, because like you're repeating the mantra, you're bringing forth the truths, and then you're giving yourself pleasure and touching yourself. That goes really deep into your nervous system. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Okay, so let's chant this mantra a couple more times to imprint it. And for those that are joining now the first time, in my first lives, I'm sharing that actually each mantra that we learn in the old times, we would chant it 100,000 times for each syllable. And nowadays, in these busy lives we're living, and if we can, if one mantra you really particularly like, I really feel like a deep calling, I invite you to chant it 1080 times, which is 10 malas, and otherwise 108 times. The first time to gain this establishment in the mantra, and then 3 times every day. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. 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 And 3 more times. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. Christine, thank you. This is so valuable. I'm so happy you're here. Feeling you. Rika, so nice. Love this. Philippa Devi, can you explain who is Gayatri Devi? Well, I actually don't know, I don't really know her story. I will I'll look it up. I know that she is the goddess of the sun, so we can relate to the god of the sun as Surya Bhagavan. But then if we want to relate to sun as the feminine, then it's Gayatri. And so there's a beautiful picture I have, and gāyatri, like usually gāyatri is referred as the meter. So there's a meter that is called gāyatri, and it's a particular meter of 24 syllables, and then that is the meter that we chant many of the mantras. And then we also have the gāyatri, like the gāyatri mantra, which, like the mantra, Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayate. So this mantra became famous, known as the Gayatri. But originally, it's actually, the Gayatri is actually that particular meter how this mantra is chanted. So it's interesting, like that. Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. This is the meter, how the meter means the intonation, how this is chanted. And then it became famous as the Gayatri mantra. But there are stories, like each deity has its own story. So I don't know the story of the Gayatri. We can look it up and get to know her story. But she is the goddess of the sun. She is the goddess of the Veda. So I know that Gayatri is also the goddess of the Veda, the 4 Vedas, Atharva, Rig, Yajur, and Sama Veda. She's known as the mother Gayatri Devi, and she who is most brilliant, most shining, and she who bestows the knowledge. And so when we think of the Gayatri mantra, like we're invoking the sun, so Gayatri Devi, the goddess, Gayatri, who is all knowledgeable, because like the sun lights up this whole universe and sees everything. And that seeing everything is referred to as knows everything. And so that is Gayatri, she who sees everything, she who knows everything, and she who is known in all the worlds. So Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha refers to all the worlds. Bhuhu is the Bhuloka, is our earthly field of experience. Then Suvaha is the heavenly field of experience. And then Bhuvaha is that which is in between. So Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha, like she is known in all the worlds as the most benevolent one, and the one that is most fit to be worshipped. So that is basically what I know. Lydia, thank you. So grateful to learn and practice every day. Oh, so nice you're here. Me too, I love being here with you all. Hello, Annalie, Inner Dimension, welcome. Katarina, big heart to you back. Erle, so much love to you, Sharada, for this beautiful creation you share, and to everyone here. Yes, we're here every day together, feeling each other, and like each and everyone who is here, we are really creating this container across all the places where we are, like Sweden and Australia and Portugal and Germany and all the places you're coming from, Morocco and Switzerland and Spain. Okay. Everyone, much love, happy practicing, and then see you tomorrow. Switzerland, yes. See you tomorrow if we wake up. Let's chant to close all the mantras we've learned, and then we start to connect, and with the time it becomes a whole puja, your day. We just connect them and then I close. So, Anando Ham, Anando Ham, Anando Ham. Yoga Kshema iti prana panayoho. Yoga Kshema iti prana panayoho. Yoga Kshema iti prana panayoho. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadye Saraswati, Karamule sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Om Parvatyai Namaha. Om Bhumi Devyai Namaha. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Om Anantaya namaha. Om Govindaya namaha. Om Parvati devyai namaha. One more time. Then we have the blood. Om Kamakhya devyai namaha. Om Samanaya swaha. Om Paramanandaye namaha. Om Gāyatri devyai namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh.